So when the build was finished, we've got some pictures of the first rollout of the shed and the first day.
Shed there.
Yeah. So were you there on the day?
Yes,
I guess you were in the loco, probably inside.
I don't know where. I mean, don't go looking out and take pictures of myself. It's too busy, sort of.
You were probably always inside.
Could have been.
And there's another excellent photo of Euston Station on the first day that 10,000 pulled its first service train. So I imagine you were there for that, probably again inside the engine.
Yeah. We had quite a few fires on the locos.
Yeah?
Yes. Mainly after braking, coming down the shaft or some beat or something like that.
All right.
Because this is where you have to be a bit careful, I think. Because the railway wouldn't clean the damn things.
So brake fires not...
It's one of my struggles I had with the railways. That you had this oil and things like that, so you get it on in bogies and then it builds up, all the dust and things. It's a nice thing there. You got the sparks coming from your brake blocks and that and going onto this. And I've put a lot of fires out. And I'm afraid that the railways didn't train their staff to do it, the drivers and firemen. And we get an alarm and they say, what are you going to do about it? Well, they're going to get that thing out, isn't it?
So you were telling us about the expert who was testing the fluids coming out of the engine?
Well, it's just that this was before we finished putting all the labels on things, and when there's this drain pipe there, and some fluid was dropping out of it, and we get experts about, and this fellow came along and took a sample, and they said it's not fuel oil. When we put the labels on it from the toilet, electric toilet.
Did you tell him afterwards? So we found out what it was.
I'm not sure whether we did or not. Because the thing was that it was an electric toilet, and they connected it to the low voltage system and which reversed. So that gave a few tinkles when they first started using it.
So you could get a shock from the toilet.
Yeah.
But it must have been a new idea, having a toilet on the engine.
Yes, it was, yes.
So when you were running the engines and they were in service and on the trials, what sort of problems did you have with them, apart from the brakes and the occasional fires?
The thing is that we did get troubles with bearings.
Yeah.
It first showed up on the spectrographic examples of the oil, and came up on that they found that...
the engine bearings.
Yeah. And I mean, they worked quite well while we had them on the testbed. There was no problem with that. Anyway, they eventually cured that by giving a better supply of oil to the bearings.
Yeah.
And so that cured that one. Another one was the fact that the water pump on the engine started leaking it on the seal on the thing. Now this had been running for ages, we never had any trouble with it. And so we tried all the testing the oil and things like that, because it was between oil and the atmosphere. We never thought of the engine atmosphere. It was just that we thought somebody had dropped some oil on it, something like that. But it turned out really that we'd had trouble with carbon build-up in the engine, and we got on to Shell, who put some additive in with that, which cleaned the engine up, but unfortunately you could smell this sort of stuff in the engine room. And eventually that's what we found, it was causing this leakage.
Yeah.
Which I tried, maybe a long time before we found out that it was that, because we tried putting it in this oil and all things like that, but it's just when it was in a vapour that it used to create this problem.
So did you have to do like running repairs on the engine if there was a fault in service, or were you there to just watch it, or did you have to fix it if something went wrong?
Well, things kept running. They kept running. We didn't.
So you didn't have any major, nothing failed dramatically in service? Or?
Oh yes, yes. I had in these bearings. We constantly taking them out and seeing to them. And one day Neil Luton, one of the big ends of the engine came through the side of the crankcase. So that was a failure.
And a dangerous one, I think.
And that was simply by the fact that although the split, there were castellated nuts for locking the big end nuts on them. But somebody put the pin in but hadn't opened it, split pin.
So the pin had fallen out?
Just fallen out, and the nut had come off, and it fallen to pieces, and it came through the side.
We need to check that on our engine.
So that's a rather serious one.
Yeah.
However, we got Metalock to come along to do the crankcase. See, I don't really know what Metalock is like. They drilled, there were a guide and they drilled sort of about 6 holes or something like that, and then he ran about and put on the thing and bands it together. So
okay.
As far as I know, it carried on. Don't remember them changing the crankcase on it at the same time.
So that would be a way to identify the engine, because people say, what happened to the engine? And we don't know exactly which engine it was.